to Totally Normal Gaming, where we do things like break known criminals out of jail, right? That's what we do here, mostly, at
Mm-hmm.
least somewhat.
We we're not known criminals. We're accused criminals.
A lot of people saw us. We haven't been convicted of anything, but a bunch of people watched.
Okay, so hold on. Before we do any recap, I want to celebrate another one of Kyle's shows closing. I heard good things.
Hey,
Well done. When's the next one?
ooh.
Hopefully not soon, because I'd like to see you again as a friend.
15
That's
minutes.
selfishly.
I, literally, you're gonna hate this. Rehearsal starts tomorrow. But this one, it goes up on June 11th. I just have a cameo, so I have a few rehearsals and then tech and then run it.
This is fucking
So it'll be
bullshit.
done mid-June. It is. It's complete. I've already gotten the email from somebody saying they want me to do a show that starts on June 21st, and I'm like, nope, I'm taking the summer, I'm clearing my life a little bit.
Um,
Um,
well, yeah. I mean, whatever. You're good at it. People enjoy you. I didn't
I'm
say you were good
also
at it. I just heard that you were good at it. And people do like watching you do
well, you
things.
did also say it,
No, I
so
didn't. It was you heard something. It was imagination. Also, I want to celebrate more importantly than whatever's happening in Dirk's life. Who gives a shit? I have final grades in. I am done with the semester.
hey,
It feels,
congratulations.
yeah, no, I feel like I don't know what I feel like. I feel like, you know what I feel like? I feel like I hiked up the mountain and I just took my pack off. That's what it feels like. I'm like, oh, I forgot this is what it feels like normally. This is what normal life feels like. Hey, Dreams Come True podcast. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Anybody else have anything to celebrate before we do recap? What are you guys celebrating? Yeah.
It's my birthday next Tuesday, so I'm going to celebrate that.
Are you gonna have a party?
Oh, he's got rehearsal.
No, I do. I have a rehearsal the 2 days before, and the night after, and then a board meeting, and then the rehearsal. I'm just I'm just gonna be birthed, and then that will be that.
Well, can I buy you a beer next weekend or something? It's my wife's
You can try.
birthday.
You can
Also,
try.
you can try. Yeah, I'll try. It is also my wife's birthday next week. Actually, this coming week. But because Memorial Day weekend falls earlier this year, so I usually try to throw her a party, but this year I think we're not. I think we're gonna lay low this year. Um,
Mm-hmm.
well,
Social engagement is overrated. We get too much of it in the world these days.
oh,
We have
I've
too much socializing, too much community, too much interaction. We just need to isolate ourselves more.
yeah, only listen to the people on the internet, friends. That's our
Yes,
message for
exactly.
today. They're the only
For my birthday
ones.
this year, I'm going to watch some podcasts on YouTube because those are my real friends.
I had some students write some pretty good papers on parasocial relationships over the past 2 years, and you know
Yeah.
what it means to this generation of young people as they.
How terrifying it is that it means anything at all.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of mixed feelings about the long-term impacts of this stuff. So we won't
Yeah.
know for a
Not a
while,
lot of
but
dialogue.
no, no. All right. Listen, but the people who watch this stream are not victims of a parasocial relationship. They are totally the best people ever.
You can literally text me through the internet. You know how to find me. It's actually bad. I think about it when I sleep.
Hmm.
So I guess I dream. Anyways, nightmares. What are you talking about?
All right, let, let's let's have a recap. Ezra, I know you're not feeling well, so we'll try not to push you too hard tonight. Does someone else want to do the recap tonight so Ezra can spare his voice for as long as he possibly can? What happened last week?
Yeah, I mean, basically we got into a great big fight in a hallway, and I personally won it, and uh,
It's nobody's
everybody was
fault.
like,
It was
"Oh,
really random
you're
the way
gonna,
it started.
Nobody's fault.
nobody's
Dirk,
fault." No,
Dirk won.
it was
Dirk's the only one who lived to fight another day, so Dirk wins.
well, pretty much everybody lived, but everybody else is very bad at hiding, and I'm very good at hiding. So everybody else is
Yeah.
now in jail because they surrendered like posers. And I snuck away, and they went to jail, and now they're in a
Well,
jail in a basement. And I climbed in through a window into the building where they are stored, and I'm trying to get down to them for reasons that I have been reconsidering all week. Why am I here? This is not helpful.
let's
But
also remember that the group consensus, reinforced by me as the uh, much maligned leader of the group, was we were going to surrender. So once again, Dirk broke from orders. There will be
I
a maritime court after this to establish whether or not you'll be dishonorably
I
discharged.
did not consensus. I
I, I did not
I it is not
consensus.
it is not yeah, I you can't consensus upon me.
I suppose you're right.
I will not subject myself to the tyranny of the majority. I'm an anarchist.
Uh,
Uh,
can someone quote that? I did not consensus. You cannot consensus upon me. That's pretty good. Hey Zem,
Yeah.
good to see you. All right, so um, yeah, no, you did that, and so the rest of the group is in jail, not prison, just jail, and they have also been visited slash taunted by a certain someone who they know is not the someone that they certainly think it is, or that other people certainly think it is. um, yeah, we call it TGT. That's the Gilderoy thing, right? It's the thing pretending to be Gilderoy that you know is actually a demonic fungus monster shape changer, straight from the twisted mind of yours truly. And you have Dirk trying to break you out. So set the scene in the barracks prison. It's not meant to be a temporary holding place. It's only meant to be a temporary holding place. It's basically the basement of this building. There are a couple of those little basement windows that let you see down into the basement, and there's essentially like a couple of holding cells with iron bars that a small enough child could probably squeeze through. You are in two separate quote unquote cages. Um, I did not I did not think ahead to split you up into which or to let you know who was in which cage. So I'm gonna do that right now while you're here. And so in one cage is Ezra and Jana, and then Galadis and Zerwin and Owen are in the other one. They're right
and
next
there,
to each other, so you could reach between the bars and pass each other things, shake each other's hands, make
thanks for
out.
anticipating my question.
Yep. Um, the cells are on either side of this basement. So there's a walkway in between. You guys are both on the same side. The guards that are in the holding area are at the end of this sort of median hallway. The stairs come right down to their desk. Right now, one of them is trying to doze off in the chair, while the other one is playing some sort of solitary card game. They also have sort of behind them the evidence locker chest thing that most of your gear is in. And Dirk kind of got to do a lot solo last time, and we'll pick up with him in a minute, but I want to check back in with the group and see if there's anything that y'all would like to do.
Can
Well,
if
yeah.
can the guards see us pass things back and forth? No,
Um,
right? We're next to each other. If we like do it at the back of the cell,
yeah, so you could easily so Zerwin, Geldis, and Owen, you are in the cell closer to the guards. So like, Owen could stand up and then Zerwin could pass something to the next. And the line of sight would be they would only see Owen, basically, if that makes sense. If they were really closely watching you, they could probably see you do things. Neither one of the guards are even looking at you right now.
yeah.
And
Okay.
scene.
And we have not seen Dirk at this point. We don't know where Dirk is.
You have not seen Dirk, no.
Is
You
it a
would
dirt basement? A stone basement?
it's a stone foundation, yeah.
The small basement windows, are they glass? Do they have bars? Are they just openings?
Um, they are glass, and the ones that are in the cells have bars, but you could still reach an arm through.
Out into the opening? Out into the world?
Well, you'd have to also open the window part, which is
Okay,
on
so
the
yeah,
other side
those
of the
ones
glass.
also still have a window. All
Yeah.
right.
Can um I look at the stone and see if I see any imperfections in my cell that might make it easier for us to escape?
Sure. Let's see your
What do you
roll.
want for a roll on that?
What is it?
It's
You roll
history
the
with
same thing,
advantage,
right?
right?
Yeah, it's the history. That's
It'd
your
be
dwarven
history.
specialty, correct?
That's where I get advantage, but I don't know that that would help me versus like. I guess it doesn't matter because it'd be investigation if I was looking for something else. So okay, I get advantage, so I rolled a 16.
Um, yeah, it's not. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, and I'm saying just to specify, like I'm probably focusing more around the windows because that's going to be the weakest point of the stone. But you know, I'll take a look at the entire wall.
Um, it's a solidly built foundation. Like, there's no obvious structural weaknesses. If you pulled out one of these stones somehow, probably you'd collapse part of the wall, and that could be catastrophic. Because there's at least 2 stories above you, and then a roof. But you do notice that the floor is not the same kind of stone. It's more like a tile that you could probably pry up. So essentially, the foundation stones are big, bulky. I'm going to build a building on top of this sort of sedimentary, like maybe like a big chunk of limestone or something. But then the floor is just made of these stone tiles. So in theory, you could pry one up.
Okay,
Anyone
Ezra,
else?
what are we gonna do?
All right, let's all huddle up against the bars here.
They took
All
my
right.
lockpicks, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. They're not stupid. They're just dumb.
Um, what's since Dirk's not here, we can come to a consensus. What
Messed up.
what would we like to do? Would we like to uh heist ourselves out of here? Is that agreeable to everyone?
Yeah, I think we need to break out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Owen says, "I want to kill that thing. I'm a paladin."
All right. Gelidus, do you have anything that could deal with that one guard who's awake? But not lethally? Not to, we don't want to add further charges onto our rap sheet.
I could put him to sleep. I got a bunch of different spells that I could probably use to lure him over here. Question is how are we going to get out? Do you have a plan for that?
Yeah, the dealing with the guard is the part that I haven't figured out.
Oh, yeah. I could throw out the sleep spell at him or convince him to come over here and then deal with him when he gets here.
I would say see if you can put them to sleep.
How far away is the guard from us?
Maybe 20 feet, maybe 30. You're actually in the first cell, so slightly closer. And you could also walk to the edge of the cell, which would put him like 10 feet.
All right. Yeah, he just has to be within 90 feet of me. Sure. I'll throw a sleep spell at him.
Do you have to roll to see how much dice you affect for that?
Let me figure that out because it's as I upcast it does more. So I will cast it as a 6th level spell.
Oh,
So using a spell slot of 2nd level or higher, roll an additional 2d8 for each slot above the first. So it'll be
8d8,
10, so it's 10d8
10d8.
in hit dice.
You want to roll it? I don't want to roll 10d8. I only have one of them. Oh, speaking of which, Dream Come True podcast. Did you get your dice? You did, right? Are they amazing? Are they purple? Someone won some dice in chat.
Hey, what's that podcast about?
Don't answer that.
All right.
Gallus is doing math in his head. Look at him.
Yeah, sorry.
The,
Well,
the anxiety is getting to me.
What's gonna happen?
all right. So I got a total of 59 hit points.
Oh yeah. No, they're both out.
Ezra casts Misty Step to put himself on the other side of the bars where
So
he goes.
the
Go on.
only thing is, hold on a second. I need to probably make another roll because the guy who was playing cards, the guy who was trying to fall asleep in the chair just falls asleep in the chair. He was already on the way. The guy who was playing solitaire slumps forward and his face smashes against the desk. And it makes a noise. So let's see if anybody hears that noise. Okay. All right, go ahead, Ezra.
Ezra casts Misty Step
Mm-hmm.
to put himself on the other side of the bars, and then he will slowly and carefully go retrieve the keys to the cells.
Okay. You have
After
the
retrieving,
keys.
after retrieving them, he will unlock the two doors to allow his friends to escape.
Okay. Um, Dirk, can you make me a perception check, please? Um,
11.
okay. Nothing.
I have a +9.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Okay, Ezra, the key to the first cell is the first one you come to. It's not hard. They're not marked though, the keys. So the second cell is taking you an extra minute to find the correct key on. Gelidus, Owen, and Zerwin, you are unlocked. Jana, you're still in the cage. As Ezra fumbles with the keys.
Ezra looks to the group in the cell that he's unlocked and says, "Quietly retrieve your things." I don't know if it looks like the mic is picking me up, so quietly retrieve your things. If we get split up, we're gonna meet at the bush. Good.
Which bush?
You know which
The bush that Dirk hid in.
Well, we don't know that. The bush that that Dirk talked to, yeah, the Jonesy stashed or discovered the stuff that had been stashed at.
Okay, speaking of Dirk, you're still looking down the stairs, deciding what you are going to do. You don't know what's going on in the basement, but you know it's where your friends are. Is there any actions you'd like to take?
I mean, I'm gonna go try rescue them. So I'm gonna try to sneak down the stairs.
The problem is when you sneak down the stairs, you're gonna first go into a room that has a whole bunch of people in it. You hear at least 3 different voices down there, and all the lights are on. So you can make a stealth roll if you'd like, but it's going to be extremely difficult to actually sneak by all these people without some sort of diversion or distraction happening.
Right? Are there any rocks
In the hallway that you're in, no.
on the stairs?
Have,
No
have my
pebbles.
children been there in the last 24 hours? Because then there will definitely be rocks.
No. No. Amazingly, there's no rocks.
And I don't look like these people.
No, you're the only
They might
dragonborn on the island.
right. So they wouldn't mistake me for one of them.
Oh, it's just Fred. Yeah. Remember he had the tail? Ezra, you have the
Fred's not.
second cell open now. Jenny, you're free.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Summon Beast. I'm gonna summon a rhinoceros.
Holy shit. Where? Where?
Into the room.
Into the room.
The room below
You
you.
said I needed a
Obviously.
diversion.
With the lights on and everyone in it.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm down there.
No, you're in the top of the
Right, I'm like-
stairs. You're at the top of the stairs looking
But I
down
can-
into that room.
Right, but I can see. So I can see a place to summon a rhinoceros
You
in the room.
I cannot believe I'm going to say these words out loud, but you can in fact see a spot in the room to summon a rhinoceros. Yes.
I do that.
Okay. Do you have to roll anything for that? Does it just happen?
Nope.
No,
Oh boy. Okay.
it's just a spell.
All right. So okay. No one else knows this is happening. Is everyone else going to get their stuff from the locker?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Everyone finds their stuff. Obviously, you don't find your magical items, but all your non-magical items. Also, in this locker, there's a bunch of other things. Like there's a couple of swords, a couple of hammers, and there's a a medallion that you've never seen before. That's hanging on a necklace. It's not terribly large. It's kind of medium-sized, but it definitely looks ornate.
I stick it in my pocket.
I distribute weapons to people. Is there a bow amongst them?
Yeah, there is. There's a short bow.
Oh, good. I grab it and hand it over to Jenna.
The necklace, does it have any like sigils or defining features that make it stand out?
You can't see it anymore. It's in Geldis' pocket.
Ezra reaches with both hands into Galatus' pockets.
Ooh.
I think that's
Hi
good.
there.
The first thing you pull out is actually a silver fork, but then the medallion's right behind that.
You traded this to me.
I did.
How'd you get it back?
Well, obviously, it decided that it wanted to be in my pocket. Maybe my pocket's warmer.
Whatever. All right. Did you even look at the necklace?
You guys want to have a warm pocket
Yeah.
competition? Because I am in if we're doing that.
Meanwhile, do we hear the sound of a rhinoceros?
Not yet. I
wandering
really want you to
around?
take a look at this necklace. I'm actually bending time because I do want you to have a second to examine this necklace. Yes, there are some cryptic sort of runes on it. It's not anything you recognize. It's definitely not infernal in any way.
Interesting.
You have no idea what it is.
But they look like runes
Yeah, they
as
look
far
like.
as like their category of language.
Can any of you Can any of you tell if it's magical?
If I had time to examine it, I might be able to get an idea, but I've used all of my. If you think that's important, I could, but it would cost me.
Dirk, what happens when you summon the? You don't have any control over it, do you?
I do. It obeys my verbal commands.
Okay, what are you going to tell the rhinoceros to do?
Well, I'm going to tell it to block as much of the hallway as possible.
Oh, no. Hallway's upstairs. The first floor is a big open room.
Oh, okay. Well, then, essentially, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to get the rhinoceros to cross the room, and I'm going to sneak behind it. And I know people will be looking at me, but I think they'll be distracted by the fact that it's a rhinoceros.
Okay. Okay. So your instructions to the summon rhinoceros is to walk across the room?
Its name is Steve.
Steve. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Is this
Well, I
a
mean, how far does Steve have to walk? I feel like maybe I misunderstood the diagram of this, but that's fine.
No, I
I'm
mean the
rolling with it. So
no the issue is that Steve is quite large. Steve takes
that's
up
great. That's actually the point.
yeah, no, he takes up quite a bit of the room when he appears out of
Right.
nothing.
Yes. Good.
Uh,
Yep.
and and the first thing that happens is absolutely nothing. There is a creaking on the floorboards above your head, everyone who's in the basement,
Right.
as if suddenly a large weight has been placed there. And then there is
Mhm.
a high pitched scream. It sounds like the least manly man scream you've ever heard, as if suddenly discovering that you've fallen off of a very tall building uh, while naked in your dreams, and your dream was true. Um, it's a very startled and terrified scream, and then there's a sort of like snuffling grunt, and then there is a lot of yelling, and that sounds like things are being broken, and there's some smashing, um, as all.
It feels like a lot of time that I could be acting is being passed right now.
Oh yeah, sorry,
Feels
that was
like
just a
all kinds
couple.
of things are
That
happening.
was like 3 seconds, but yeah, go ahead. What would you like to do?
Okay, so when Steve appears, I'm attempting the whole point of Steve's appearance is in the mayhem. It's like when you have to count the number of times in the video people are throwing the basketball and the bear suit person comes on and you don't see them because you're so distracted. The whole point is to cross the room while everybody, that video. The whole point is to cross. Maybe no, they're wearing a gorilla costume. Sorry, that's my bad. Um, the whole point is to cross the room while everybody is obsessed with Steve.
You don't even have to cross the room to get to the stairs. You just have to go down and around to the. You know how like stairs that go down, and then you have to go around to the next floor of stairs that go down. That's what it
Great,
looks like. Yeah,
that's the point. I'm gonna do that while Steve is there.
yeah. I don't even have to make you roll a stealth roll for that. When you
Perfect
poke your
plan.
head down, um, the 5 people, because 2 of them are just being very quiet, that are downstairs are all guards, and one of them has passed out unconscious on the floor. One of them has jumped up on a desk and is screaming and pointing and screaming and pointing. And the other 3 are scrambling to get weapons while Steve sort of like slowly moseys across the room, smashing a couple of desks and chairs that are in the way because Steve
Yep.
doesn't see very well.
Hmm.
The bright lights aren't super great for Steve either. He's feeling a little claustrophobic right now. His instructions were to walk across the room, so that's what he's going to do. But along the way, there weren't instructions not to smash anything they got between him and what looks like a door that's too small for him to fit through. But goddamn if he isn't going to try anyway. So that's what's happening right now. Um,
Okay, just so you know, Steve will use the dodge action if he's attacked.
Mhm.
He's not going to attack. He doesn't fight unless he's told to.
Yeah, great.
So he's
Um,
use the dodge. While he's doing that, I'm trying to get down to the basement.
sure, yeah, it's pretty easy. What's everyone in the basement going to do
Great.
while this is happening upstairs?
What do we hear?
I equip my armor and
Can-
pass out weapons.
Okay,
All
good.
right, everyone. Something's going on upstairs. Everybody get ready.
Yeah, it sounds like some furniture's being smashed. There's some screaming. There's a lot of loud thumping noises.
And Zerwin's with us, right?
And Zerwin's with you. And then Dirk pops his head down the top of the stairs and looks down. Dirk, you see 2 unconscious guards and an open footlocker and all of your friends like buckling their armor and getting their weapons ready because they have no idea what's happening upstairs.
Oh my God! Hurry up already! I have a rescue. Let's go now. Take forever to put your clothes on. Get your. Ugh.
I don't fight in the nude. Zerwin might, but I don't.
I mean, I will.
Okay, well, the rhinoceros is only going to distract them. God, I got this
Ezra did
rhinoceros
that time.
just for you guys. Could you hurry up, please?
Thank you for getting us a rhinoceros.
Thank you,
I
Dirk.
got you a rhinoceros. Now we have to get upstairs.
I love it
Okay,
when a
let's go.
plan comes together.
Dirk, how long does Steve stick around for?
Concentration up to 1 hour.
Okay, Steve has made it across the room, and you can sense through your link that he's getting a little claustrophobic because there's no way he's going to fit through that door. But he really wants to go outside now.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, and look, Steve has to make his own choices,
Okay, great.
and I trust
You say
him.
that out loud?
Steve has to make his own choices, and I trust him. But we have to go now.
Who the fuck is Steve?
Yeah, we're gonna have to
God
process
damn
a
it,
few things
Derwin!
at
Would
the
you
end of
just
all
put your
this.
pants on?
They're on. Why did?
All right, let's go up the stairs. Up, 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 up. Energy, energy.
Um. Okay, one of the guards has decided to take out a long spear and poke Steve in the rump. Steve did try a
Poke?
dodge, to be fair. Steve did not succeed on his dodge. He had to roll a disadvantage. But the good news is that Steve has very thick natural armor, and the spear did not actually do any damage. It did, however, light a fire under his ass, so to speak. And now Steve has decided to run as fast as he can, and he has made the door significantly larger than it was previously. It's not really a door anymore so much as a Steve-sized hole in the side of the building.
Again, I feel like a lot happened that I could have interacted with.
That's
Here.
the speed of combat, man. That's less than 6 seconds. You were down there yelling at your friends.
They poked Steve.
That's
Steve got a running start. Started running across the room.
no.
Ran
Steve was
through a
already
wall.
over there and just took 3 or 4 running steps and ran through. And yeah, that's
Do we all need to roll initiative if we're going to be moving through this space?
so. Are you guys just gonna go up the stairs?
Is that the only option?
Like,
Well,
we should try to sneak out in the commotion. I would think.
yeah. So
Okay.
Where else could we go?
let me explain to Dirk. Since Dirk has his head above, you can see what's happening in that first level. There's now a huge
I
size.
can see it.
Yeah. So you went down the stairs,
So
but if you
all
just
I need to do is yell at Steve. I can tell Steve to do whatever I want. So 6 seconds is a long time.
okay. You just told Steve that he has to make his own choices and that you trusted him. So I role played off of that.
No, I told.
So you can change
There.
that now if you want in round 2.
I would absolutely change that.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay,
But
all
the
right.
things that happened already happened. You can tell him to turn around. That's totally fine.
Your choices have been revoked.
Yeah,
You
no,
obviously have made wrong choices.
Yeah, consensus can't be forced upon Steve. Come on.
it can. It can. He is a summoned spirit. He does not. You can't be an anarchist if you're a summoned spirit. What is this?
He's a rhinarchist. Okay.
Oh my
Some
god.
of those space spirits that you summoned had really anarchistic vibes. Story for another time. All right.
Most of them.
All right. Should we go see what's going on upstairs? Dirk, are you talking to us in your head? Is that using your telepathy? Is that how we heard you?
No, he's there.
No, I'm
he's halfway down the
literally-
stairs.
Oh,
Yelling
okay.
at
So
you.
he can see us and we can see him.
Correct.
Put your pants on.
All right. We're all dressed, Dirk. Come on.
Would you all
You're
like to go
in
up
the
the
way.
It's a
stairs?
metaphor.
I'm looking around. Is there any place else to go?
There is only stairs that go up unless you want to go through one of the windows, which would be a tight squeeze for Owen.
Let's go
Up the
upstairs.
stairs we go.
I can go alone.
Just go up the stairs. Keep going. Keep going. No, up to the second floor. There's this great office. I got a window up there. We're gonna jump. It's only like 14 feet down.
Okay. When you clear to the first floor, you see that one guard is unconscious. Another guard has like curled up in a ball catatonically in the corner. One of the guards looks like he got bowled over and is like dazed on the floor, and the other two that are basically okay. One of them has a spear, and the other one has like a uh, yeah, I can't think. A mace. Thank you, brain. The other one has a mace, and the guy with the mace is like, "What am I even supposed to do with this thing?" But he's kind of trying to protect the guy with the spear, who's like chasing after Steve and like trying to poke him. Um, they're also like, not really sure how a rhinoceros got here, so they're a little confused and caught off guard. I do need to make a roll to see if any of them notice you as you walk up the next set of stairs, but they're going to be rolling at disadvantage.
Did any of them drop or we encountered some unconscious ones, right?
There were the two unconscious guards downstairs, yes.
Do they have like traditional Roman style red cloaks on? Like guard capes?
They do. They all have guard cloaks on. Yeah, they aren't. These ones aren't red, but yeah.
I will unfasten one and pass it to Jana, and I'm the only other person that, other than Dirk, that Dirk might need one too. I'll take one for Dirk.
Okay.
Just in case you need to masquerade as a human.
I would never do that.
Okay. I write on it definitely not human and hand it to Dirk then, because no, I'm kidding.
Thank you.
If you don't want one, I'll wear it then.
I just don't want to care. I need my hands right now.
Okay. I'll tie this one so I appear to be a guard, sort of.
All right. So you're all going up the next set of stairs also, as Dirk has directed? All right.
Sure.
Yep.
Very well. You all make it. Everyone makes it upstairs. Are you going to direct Steve to do anything here, Dirk?
Yeah, I'm going to tell him to scream and run. Essentially, if I have a general sense of the direction that I'm going to get to the bush, because I assume that's the only safe place in town, I'm going to tell Steve to run the opposite direction. I'm sending Steve as a Rhino diversion. I say scream, run, and be with the gods.
You know what? I need to do a quick bit of research right now.
Okay.
About rhinobstacles?
They do have a trumpet-like call.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they also grunt for the most part.
They schnoof.
Hold on. This is going to be good. So I did mention the grunting, this like snuffle grunting that was happening earlier, which is the sound. That doesn't sound right. That sounds like an elephant. They do sort of make a high-pitched they do make like a high-pitched sort of squeal. So that's what you hear. You hear like this high-pitched, like not like a pig, but sort of like a pig squealing sound.
It's elkish, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah. And then there's a, not quite thunderous, but loud sound of large animal moving quickly.
And a rhino is native to this plane, or?
No, there's no rhinos on this continent. So, yeah, there's that.
So it's already endangered, is what you're telling me.
All right, upstairs. It's dark upstairs. There's now a cornucopia of alarmed noises coming from outside, as literally everyone is like, "What the fuck is that monster? That bizarre armored horned monster that is screaming and running through the center of the compound."
Mm-hmm.
All right, everyone. How are we gonna find the Kalis thing and kill it? And sorry, not the Kalis thing, the Gilderoy thing. And then Bill, can you remind me which one we have killed?
We killed Garth's
Garth.
thingy.
So it's and I'm not gonna remember the third one. I want to say Tate, and that's not right.
You don't
Calico.
know.
I
You
don't know
don't know
Yeah.
what.
what Calico is. The
Yes.
Calico thing.
No, there's the Gilderoy thing. There's one that you killed that was posing as Tate. I don't think
Oh,
you ever
okay.
determined what the third one was. You
We're
don't
kind
know
of
about
assuming it's
Calico.
Calico.
You're assuming that it's
Garth told
Calico.
us it was Calico.
He did?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
did we?
He said that the
Did
three of
we?
them, yeah, like they got
And
attacked
one
by
act.
two things that looked
Yeah,
like them.
Okay.
told us.
I believe you. I believe.
Good catch, Jana. So how are we gonna find Gilderoy and Calico and kill them? Anyone have any bright ideas?
What time of day is it?
It
It's
is
nighttime.
nighttime. It is the daytime of the night. It's starry out. Um, the compound is relatively well lit, but there's shadows everywhere. Um, there is a half moon.
Are we talking tents?
No, no,
Mostly?
no. Almost all buildings.
Okay.
Yeah, many of them are completely stone. Some are wood and stone. It's you think Roman senatorial getaway on an island.
What time of night? Like midnight or like 9 p.m.?
Yeah, earlier in the night. It's not that late yet. Probably.
So
Okay.
they could be drinking.
But they ordered everyone into their respective rooms. Remember. So now people are kind of poking their heads out. But previous to that, the only people outside were guards. They called a curfew because there was.
Shenanigans.
Yeah, so it's probably closer to like 10 to 11 p.m. around there.
Chana, you could pretend to be a guard and find out where they are, maybe by asking another guard.
Sure. Sounds good. I think you have our highest charisma.
Yeah, I
That's me.
suppose. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you wanna be like on my shoulders, Ezra? Like, you know,
Like a
We might
charisma
be
6
multiplier.
raccoons in a trench coat, like
freakishly tall then.
I can squat a little, like I have back problems.
Uh, I do like the idea of a bunch of raccoons in a trench coat. I like the idea of Ezra on your shoulders and the two of you going around asking for hot dogs, for that matter.
Um,
Or do you flight? You could fly with a cloak dangling and it just sort of drifts along. Like you're a ghost of some kind.
but
Bring
since
it.
it's just a cloak, wouldn't they be able to see that I don't want to
I don't
keep
know if
hanging
you
down?
can hold it closed in front of you.
Sure, why don't I go ask a guard?
Let's have Janet do it, please. Sweet Moses.
Owen was a better choice. That's all. But
Well, the thing is, like, let me look at your character sheet for a second. You may actually have an ability.
oh,
Yeah, you might be able to disguise yourself. Yeah, because you're an assassin.
oh, that's true. Okay.
But I think you might have
Alright.
to spend a certain amount of time thinking about it before you do it. Let's find out. Everyone look at Janet's character sheet. No
Everyone-
secrets
Yeah,
here.
it takes a week to build that, to build an alias.
How's your
But you're proficient in. You have disguise kit, so
All right. I'll do that.
you could disguise yourself and just. Your deception
All
is
right.
+5. It's not bad.
All right. I will quickly disguise myself and then so what am I ask sorry, can we just what am I asking?
Like
What are the orders?
You can say, you could even tell them
What's the
the
status?
prisoners have escaped. Where's Gilderoy? Where's Calico? We need to make sure that they know and that they're protected.
Okay. Okay, good thinking. All right. I will find some guards who are not
You also have the opportunity to name this new beast in this land. You could call it a Dirk beast if you wanted to.
A Dirkosaurus.
A Dirkosaurus. A Dirkotrops, if you would.
Yeah.
I
It's
would.
a-
I
You could call it a
absolutely would.
A
unicorn.
Dirkarich.
Jenna, its name is Steve.
You could
It's
call
a
it.
Steve.
Steve was my
You could call
favorite
it
member
Dirk
of the party
Steve.
so far.
Steve Dirk. You could call it Steve Dirk.
Okay, I'm gonna find some guards who are far enough out of the main, like, who are not in the path of.
Hold on. I'm okay with
yeah.
this, but first, you're all upstairs in the barracks still. Just want to point that
Mhm.
out. So, that's where you all are. You're upstairs in the second story of the barracks in an office. You could climb out the window, you could jump out, you could walk back down the stairs, but for right now, I need to know what you all are doing. All staying in that office?
I'm gonna help Jenna acrobatics out first by giving her the help action. So like holding her arm and like lowering her down and maybe throwing her towards a roof or something that she can flip off of easily.
Yeah, you're only one story up, so you could even
That's-
just hang off the window and drop, and I'll say an athletics check will do you just fine. But if you
But-
want to do something cool, do it.
Jenna, it's up to you. You want to do some cool flips? I'm here for you.
I think, why don't you just lower me down out the window?
Okay, I'm like, you're gonna flip out. Oh, all right, and I just lower you down.
All right, the rest of you are gonna hang out while Janigo goes to do her thing.
Yeah, I mean, we've closed the door, I assume, and I will kind of guard the door.
Okay. Jenna, there's a kerfuffle happening out here in the compound. It seems that some sort of weird monster is loose, and people have all opened. They're all under curfew, but everyone has either opened their doors or opened their windows or are looking out, and some people are standing out in their little verandas or decks. And they're like, "Did you see the thing?" And oh my god, this is a fucking monster! It's charging them. It's gonna kill someone. And people are all, in a tizzy. And several of them do, in fact, have bottles of wine that they are nursing. Eventually, after a few minutes, you do spot a couple of other guards running, sort of at a 90-degree angle to you. They stop when they see you. What are you doing? Did you see the thing? Everyone's talking about the thing. What the hell was that thing?
It went that way. I want to make sure that my orders were to make sure that the leadership was protected. Where's Gilderoy,
Oh, he's
the commander?
yeah, no, he's in his office right now. But what the
Okay,
hell
great,
was
thank
that? Did you see the thing?
Oh, I didn't see it. I just heard some noises.
It's a Stevicorn.
Is it dangerous? Has
I
it
don't
killed
think so.
anyone? What should we fight it with?
No.
Harsh language.
I think just stay back and
Witty
make sure that
banter.
it doesn't trample anyone.
Actually,
Follow it.
Follow it. You should follow it and
That's
find
great.
out, because I didn't see it. I'm coming from another building.
oh shit, there it is right there. One of the guards points, and he points like you could see like in between these two buildings. You see the thing. You see Steve. He's currently munching on one of the bushes, while like a semicircle of a half a dozen guards surround it and like threateningly poke at it with spears.
In all fairness, that's an imperial bush.
All right, what are you gonna do, Jenna?
Oh my God, you go help them. I'm going to look for a bigger weapon. And I'm going to turn and head back towards the barracks.
Okay.
Or,
I hold my arm down if you want to leap
Sure.
up.
Yeah. I mean, Dirk climbed up it. I can probably do it. What? We're both good at it.
Yeah. Okay. You hoist Janet
I at
back
least
up
had to
into the
do an
office.
athletics roll.
I didn't even have to do that. That's how good I am.
Jesus.
Okay. Okay, Gilderoy's in his office. Do we want?
Do we
Let's
know
go.
where that is?
Thought it was obvious from. Do we know?
No, you do not.
Damn it!
Did he give any indication about where the office is? He didn't direct you to where the office
He
is?
sort of did point in a general direction.
All right. This is why
Okay.
you don't send me to talk to NPCs, guys.
Before we
Well-
leave this office, are we sure that after what happened a few hours ago, we're just going to do the same thing again?
This is totally different.
Well, yeah. First off, you're not gonna talk to a group of people.
Thank you for noting that. I might have to at some point.
I'll do it.
You'll do what?
Listen,
Talk to a
Talking
group
to a
of
group
people.
of people.
I think we have to
Nope.
find Gilderoy because at the least we want to know where the corpse of the real Gilderoy is, so that we can like prove that we didn't do it.
no one wants to
Um,
end these assholes more than me. I just want to make sure that we're recognizing that I put us in a mess. We've gotten out of the mess, and now all of us are agreeing that we're going to jump right back into that mess. That's all.
What else would we do?
We would flee.
All
Well,
right,
we
so
thought
there's
the
a
other
general
option.
direction where the office is. Did you ask about Calico?
nope.
We're
Sorry.
doing great. All right.
We'll just use
This is
Gilderoy to
why-
find Calico.
Yep. We'll use Gilderoy to find Calico.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. What?
Do we want to pretend that
We're
since
captives,
Ezra? Yes.
and you two are guards escorting us to somewhere a little less Steve-acorn ridden.
We're escorting you
Gilderoy's
to
office.
Gilderoy
Safe.
for interrogation, for all sorts
Sure.
of, yeah.
Let's go with that.
Okay.
Let's have Owen talk.
Chat is awfully quiet tonight. Chat, you don't want to heckle my players right now? All right, so you're gonna so Owen and Jana are posing as guards, which means Zerwin, Galadis, Ezra, and Dirk are pretending to be prisoners.
Mhm.
And you're marching towards in the general direction that you were previously indicated, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see my roll. Okay. Holy shit. All right.
We win.
Yep, that's it. Game over. Good job, everyone. You've won.
All right, handshakes all around.
Just exiled in BO6 on round 36 solo mode. Oh, nice. Well done. Sorry, I was just reading chat. Okay, so
Say anything good?
incredibly, no one stops you the entire time. In fact, no one seems to notice anything about you. You do hear that weird scream again and the trampling noise again, and then you do see Steve tearing across, and this time it does look like he's taken a wound on his side, and he's charging the other direction across the compound. After a good quarter of an hour, you see what must be offices, because you're pretty sure by process of elimination it can't be anything else at this point. There are two guards out front, and they do see you coming. They pipe up to you, Jana and Owen. Hey, what you got there?
Prisoners for interrogation.
What's wrong with the barracks?
Oh, we were told to bring him to Gilderoy.
Oh. Who told you that? Captain Johnson?
Yeah, what a dick.
He's such a shitbag. We don't have
I
room
know.
for him here. We don't have the right facilities here. All right, hold on just a second. He opens the door. Actually, bring him in here.
Did you hear about the Steve-acorn?
The what?
There's some monster out there
We
charging
did.
around.
The other one's like, is that what that
you
was?
should go see.
What
It's
the-
amazing.
Oh yeah, I want to see. I want to go see. Come on, dude. Tom, let me go see. Tom, I want to go see. The other guy's, the older guy's like, fuck, go. Jesus
Let him go,
Christ.
Tom. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, so now there's just one guard, and he leads you inside.
Is Gilderoy within?
Well, he leads you into sort of like a greeting area room. You can see there's like a little hallway. Looks like there's like a kitchen to the right, kind of, and like a little meeting room to the left, and then
Fucking upper management bullshit.
and then at the end of the hall, there's some gilded double doors that are currently closed. Yeah, Gilderoy's in there. Put him in the meeting room for now. You two keep an eye on them. I'm gonna go back to my post at the front door. I didn't let you
Okay.
in. I was never here.
No. And if you need to slip away and see the Stevicorn,
It doesn't really do it for me, but thanks.
cool. I shut the door behind him.
Yeah.
And I indicate to Jana to lock it.
Make me a stealth roll, Jana.
Wouldn't it be like sleight of hand? Or lockpick tools?
She doesn't have to pick it. The lock is on the inside.
Oh, okay.
It's just whether or not he hears the latch go down. So I assumed you wanted to do that quietly, which
Yeah, I'm gonna walk around, and I'm loud, so
do
take
it
the
with
help action.
advantage.
$17.
Great.
So we don't take the prisoners, obviously, into the adjacent room.
You
We
do
go-
hear voices coming from behind the double gilded doors at the end of the hallway.
Can we just can someone listen at the keyhole? Someone with a high perception? Who has a high perception?
I'll listen.
I have +6. Can two
I'm
of us
higher.
do it?
You want to help me?
Yeah. I mean, I'll cup my tiny hands around your ear against the door to help you to really hear well.
That is super helpful, Abzar. Well, I didn't know
Stick your
that well.
finger in her other ear.
I don't like anything that was just said.
My God, none of you guys touch me ever, please. 15.
Sorry,
Oh, that's
Azra's giving
great.
you a wet willy and it's distracted you.
Yeah, it does seem like that's what happened. I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me.
15, you definitely hear the Gilderoy thing. You recognize that voice. You're not sure the doors are super thick. There actually isn't a keyhole in this door either.
So we'd have to break it down. Or well,
Can I
we
hear
haven't
more
checked
than
to see
one
if it's
knock?
unlocked. Well, if we break it down, we have the element of surprise.
They
I
are.
think
Sorry, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say they're gonna be surprised regardless.
They
That
are.
was very surprising.
They are iron-studded doors, which is weird for an interior door to be like so secure. It's also weird that it doesn't have a keyhole, and it's also weird that it's this thick.
Do I hear anyone else? Or just, I only hear Gilderoy talking?
You do hear two voices.
Okay.
They don't sound agitated. They sound pretty relaxed.
There's two people in there. One of them is Gilderoy. They don't seem like they've heard about the Stevicorn yet.
They're
Right.
probably getting some kind of hot stone massage right now, like upper management would.
So it looks like a very strong, sturdy door. We knock. When they go to open it, we force the door open and we get in.
Sure. I prepare to kick one door in. Zerwin prepares to kick the other one in.
I do.
So
Can we tell based on the hinges if it swings out or in?
Good choice. Yes, they actually swing out.
Okay, so we prepare to pull the doors open as soon as they start moving, and the others will, shoot arrows, fireballs, whatever.
So
Spirit
are
Guardians.
we gonna kill him first, or are we gonna try to ask questions like, where are the other bodies, and show us your evidence?
We haven't tried to ask questions of these things before. We don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, we can give it
We
a try.
don't. I mean, I'm happy to shoot first. It's my
know
usual
you are.
MO, but
All right, everyone, weapons drawn, look really scary so that they hopefully stand down when they see all of us.
Do you want me to
Ooh.
just use Dragon Fear voice shout on them?
Uh, m- I'm gonna out of game meta game sort of and ask,
Yeah.
do we have any idea if that works on fiends or undead?
That's a good advice, Dreamcom
Because
podcast.
for instance, I tried to use hold monster last week, and
They do
that
have a
doesn't
speak
work
with
on
dead,
undead.
after all.
It'll be under the feature. If they're resistant to fear, then, or whatever the thing is, we don't know. Right? Unless the thing says specifically does not work on X, Y, or Z. Dirk,
Uh,
can you read the ability to us?
I, yeah, actually, that
Increase your. You can expend a use of your breath weapon trait to roar, forcing each creature of your choice you can hear or see within. Hear or see within 30 feet to make a Wisdom saving throw. On failure, the target becomes frightened of you for 1 minute until
Okay,
it takes any damage.
so that means that they will run from you potentially. They can't approach you, basically. And if they're immune to
disadvantage on attack
fear,
rolls.
right? If they're immune to fear, it won't do anything.
I think let's throw that in. Let's see what that adds to
Yeah.
the spicy sauce that we're brewing together here.
How you guys work on the door?
I knock on the
Red
door.
leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather.
Okay.
Red lizard, yellow lizard.
Okay, so when you knock on the door, both of the voices go quiet. You hear a. Ah!
I knock again, louder.
Then you hear footsteps approaching the door, and
Sir, I'm incredibly, I'm sorry, but
yeah,
there's a
the door
commotion outside.
the door begins to open.
We yank it open.
Okay.
Do you need us to make strength checks to do this really fast, or
Yeah, you better.
Just a straight up strength.
because each of them summoned a rhino for us to?
Is it athletics?
It's
Was it an athletics
rhinoceri
roll?
all the way down.
I got
Is it,
17.
is it a strength roll or an athletics roll?
Strength roll, pure strength.
Let's see, I only rolled a 10.
Okay. On the other side of this handle, coming flying out of the room, because actually, you know what? I had decided this ahead of time, but it's more fun if I roll dice.
Oh, he was having an affair
Okay.
with Steve.
You rolled a what, Owen?
I got a 17.
Okay. So the person who comes flying out of the room because they were holding onto the door that Owen yanked open is actually Cornelius. He comes flying out and falls face first. He can't catch himself. He failed his dex roll. And he lands face first on the carpet. And behind him, you see...
Cornelius?
Wait, is this Skip?
Sorry.
Kalis?
Sorry, Kalis. Kalis, not Cornelius.
Kalis.
Okay.
My bad.
Oh.
My bad. My bad.
Whoa.
Kalis. You see Kalis,
Just
the old man.
One more thing to the list of things for him to be pissed at us about. Jesus Christ.
Kalis, the old man, falls directly on his face, and behind him you see the Gilderoy thing. And as soon as he sees that it's you, everyone can roll initiative.
Wait, I do the roar.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, you were holding action, so that means that he needs to
What?
make a wisdom saving throw. What was the difficulty, Dirk?
Fuck. I rolled a 2. I'm not gonna
DC
get a
12.
hand on the ball.
He's good.
Terrible. I've got a
What was
9
everybody?
initiative.
I got a 12. I wrote it down already.
I'm getting everybody.
Thank you.
Catlitus, what did you get?
22.
Dirk? What's your initiative?
10.
All right, Janet, give me the order when you got it.
It's me, then Gelidus, then Dirk, then Zerwin, then Ezra.
Well, I go before Dirk, but yeah,
Oh, sorry.
it's okay.
Numbers.
Okay, Jana. What's it gonna be?
I'm gonna hold action.
Gelidus.
Moonbeam, so he changes.
What?
Moonbeam, so he changes.
I don't know if that'll work on him.
If he's not in, his real form, it should.
It's got to be a shape changer though, so that has to have that classification.
That feels like bullshit.
So this is the guy we want dead, right?
Potentially,
he's
but again,
probably
we
gonna
also
explode.
have to. Yeah, he's gonna explode.
We're also hoping that he would maybe tell Kalis that this wasn't our fault, even though it appeared to be our fault.
Yeah, we did have a conversation about trying to maybe intimidate him or get him, trying to
This is a
interrogate him
lot of
better.
metagaming that's happening right now. Gelidus asked the question. This is the guy we want dead.
I'll throw a moonbeam at him and see if it works.
I say eventually.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say too. Well, good thinking, Dirk.
All right, you need to make a con 17 save.
For what? Sorry.
For the spell Moonbeam.
Okay. Tell me what happens.
Did he pass or fail?
Tell me what happens first.
All right, so it is a 5-foot radius, but a 40-foot high cylinder centered on the point, so centered on the guy. So basically, this huge moonbeam just kind of comes down on top of him.
You're inside. You don't have to be outside for this to work.
Doesn't declare that you. It doesn't say that you have to be.
Okay.
So it comes like from the ceiling down.
Yeah, it's magic. It's as if there was a moon right above him inside the room. It's magic, though.
Yeah, it's as if magic never has limitations. Go ahead, finish your description. Then what happens?
Mine
All
doesn't.
right. So then it is engulfed in ghostly flames. You did not pass, so it takes 2d10 radiant damage, and then if it is a shape changer, it reverts to its original form and cannot shape change while it's in the radius of the spell.
Okay. Roll that damage.
It was Kalis all along.
8.
8.
Oh, sorry, hold
He
on.
explodes.
$30 in total.
How did you go from 8 to 30?
Because I cast it level 4 and only rolled the level 1 version of it.
Okay.
That was my question too, Bill.
8. Did I say 8? I meant 400.
As a free action, I inflict 4,000 damage on him.
Yeah.
Okay. So this did you say a sphere, like an actual moon, like sphere, launches a moonbeam down from nowhere out of him? So
Yep.
yeah, this like silvery, bright light, kind of engulfs him, and he shrieks in pain, and part of him does revert to the fungal zombie monster thing, and part of him does not, but the effect is the same, which is really gross, like a really gnarly zombie fungus, / human thing. it screams, and it looks like, what did you say? This is radiant damage?
Yes, this is radiant.
Yeah. Um, it the fire continues. This like holy flame continues to burn as it like shrieks and screams. And now it's its turn. Um, that's really gonna put a damper on what it was gonna do, though. It doesn't have any concentration now. Okay. Okay. It's going to dive out the window behind it. Uh,
Right onto Steve, who was tactically waiting outside the window at that moment with horn up, like a rhino-based caltrop.
okay. So he turns and dives out the window, or the window shatters. Um, and you're on the first floor, but the window's whatever, 3 feet up. Um, and you hear him land outside.
Okay, but Jana could take her held action if you want to shoot him as he's jumping out the window.
You did hold action.
Yeah.
Um,
So if we want to explode this guy, because
It's
you're
up to you,
gonna,
Jana. You have to make the decision. We can't say anything.
yeah.
okay, yeah, fuck it.
That's the spicy oranges attitude right there.
I love it. So since Jana is technically going first,
No, yeah, you get a clear shot at him.
no, but it triggers assassinate. So if you hit,
I got a 29 to hit.
That'll do it.
Miss.
Sorry,
you
that's a miss.
needed you needed 28. You needed to do worse.
Okay, and then so for the assassinate thing, it's the damage is doubled. Is that how that works?
If he's surprised,
He's probably
No.
not
God,
surprised. But it is.
Have
Shot me in the
advantage.
ass.
So here's the thing: assassinate. You have advantage on attack rolls against any creature that hasn't taken a turn in combat yet.
yeah,
And any hit you score against the creature that is
surprised.
is a critical hit. So, I mean, I'd
That's
say
up
I
to
get-
Bill.
you
Bill,
would
is he
get-
surprised?
No, he's been in combat with you guys, so he's technically not surprised.
so you would
Is he
inflict.
within 5 feet of one of us?
He's
No.
still she gets advantage for the attack.
Oh, then you can
regardless.
still do your sneak
So
attack.
you'd still get sneak attack. So
Okay.
it's just not double.
All right.
So roll your normal short bow damage.
That was 9, and my sneak attack damage was 24. I just 33.
Yes.
Okay. He turns to dive out the window, and as he's in midair, an arrow flies across the room, pierces his side, comes out his shoulder. He still smashes into the window, but instead of like rolling on the outside, you just hear a thump.
And then he explodes.
No explosion.
Not all of them explode.
It is
Only
Owen's
ones
turn.
only ones I shoot in rooms full of civilians.
That's probably it.
Technically, you're out of combat now, but Owen, I'll let you be the first one to act.
All right. I am using an action to activate Divine Sense. I look at Kalis. Is Kalis a fiend?
Kalis is not a fiend. Kalis is
Is he?
grumpy.
Okay. I run over to what's his face half out of the window and pull him in.
Okay. He is unconscious. He is still a demon thing, and he's still on fire.
I'll take
Can
fire damage if I have to.
Can we take a look at the tattoo so we know what kind he is?
You can start searching him for tattoos if you'd like. Yes. Does anybody else want to do anything? Okay.
Does everyone go ahead and strip him
hold on.
down?
Hold on. Jana and Geldis, I'm going to say you can't act right now, but does Dirk, Ezra, or Zerman want to do anything?
Ezra goes to help Kalis up and says, "Good show, Kalis. We couldn't have done it without you."
Okay, good.
I go start looking for tattoos,
Okay.
and I'm very handsy.
Okay.
He learned it from a cave toad.
Inappropriate.
I just say, is that guy gonna die?
Good.
Not
Is he currently
right
bleeding
now.
out?
No, he's on fire.
Dirk, can you bind him?
Okay.
I
Bind
use
him?
my
Can
cloak.
you
Can I
tie
just-
him up?
When it's my turn next, I use my cloak to douse the flames.
Okay. Good idea, because he was absolutely going to die from those flames.
Let's tie him up so we
Let's
can
see if
interrogate
he...
him.
Hold on, he might still die. Let's see what the roll is. Nope. Okay. He is... Well, give me 1 second. Yeah, no, okay. He is at
Someone
0
tie
hit
him up.
points.
Someone tie him up.
Do
I'll channel 1 point of healing into him so he doesn't die.
I have my rope on me? I think I do.
I have rope.
Kalis gets up off the floor as you help him, Ezra. It looks like he's bleeding a little bit out of his lip. He looks at all of you and says, "You guys have royally fucked this up." And yet, he looks around and says, "Close the doors, pull him inside. Tie him to that fucking chair." He immediately starts barking orders at everybody.
I tie him to the chair.
He pulls
Do you want
out
me to heal him?
in a moment. Actually, sorry, no, but you two, he points to Jana and Owen. You two have to go be guards. No one gets in, okay, until we're done here.
Gellis, do you have healing magic left?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I got healing stuff. I got a
Oh.
cube.
Dirk as well. I'll go be a guard.
Me too.
Okay, so just so you guys close the door behind
Shit.
you, because Owen and Jana, you're gonna have to deal with another situation, which is that they heard the guard that was outside, Tom. He heard what was happening, and now he's trying the door, and it's locked because you guys locked it. So now it's becoming more and more incessant, and it sounds like he's getting ready to kick the door down. So I'm gonna give you guys a couple seconds to think about that as you walk down the hallway towards that door and open it. The rest of you are going to stay inside as the double doors to the office close. And Kalis says, "Okay." He walks over and draws the curtains to that window and says, "All right, wake him up. If someone can." He turns to you all.
Did I find a tattoo, or did I not get a chance to do it yet?
No, you're still searching, but you haven't found one. Actually, Zero, make me a perception roll, because you're probably the one who's tied him up.
12.
Yeah, you don't find one. Obviously, he has one, but it's pretty well hidden.
It's a lower butterfly tattoo.
Jana and Owen, since these I've heard any action from the rest of these guys yet, you guys make it to the door.
Yep, I open it.
As he's like yanking as you open it, what the fuck was all that? Is Gilderoy okay?
He's fine. The Stevicorn, it flew into the side of the building. And then it
Jesus
bounced
Christ.
off and went somewhere else.
Holy fuck. Is it going to come around this side? Close the doors again.
Okay, I step in and close the doors.
Wait, no. All right, no, it's fine. It's fine. I'll climb this tree over here.
Good luck. Godspeed.
All right, is
So-
anyone going to heal?
When I shut the door, I whisper to Jenna, "This empire deserves to fail."
Do you find something amusing about my friend's name?
He has a wife, you know.
Okay. Back in the room. Dirk, Ezra, Gelidus, Zerwin.
Galidus, can you give him a little bit of an upper?
Oh, Bill, question: When are potions considered magic items? Like, did we not bring our health potions with us?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I can heal him. I guess I'll cast a healing word on him.
Okay. How much you want to heal him for? Just 1 hit point? Or more?
19.
You want to heal him for 19?
Yep.
Okay. He comes to and reverts back to Gilderoy almost instantly. He looks up at all of you. I can still get you out of this if you let me out now.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
What are you going to do? Kill all 30 of my guards? Kalis leans down and he pulls a small dagger out of somewhere and he reaches down and he slices off the thing's pinky finger. Once it's removed, the thing hisses, and once it's removed, it is no longer a normal pinky finger, but a twisted fungal zombie pinky finger. And he stabs it with the dagger and he holds it up in front of the thing. And he says, "That's as good as it's going to get, unless you tell me everything I want to know, and you answer every question exactly the way I want you to. Do you understand?" There's a little look of fear in this thing's eye as it looks up. Kalis turns around to the rest of you and says, "If none of you are comfortable with torture, I suggest leaving now." Then he takes the
No,
pinky
it's my
thing.
thing.
He takes the pinky and he drops it
Okay.
on the floor, and he takes the dagger back out again.
I, as stealthily as I can, pick up that pinky finger and like kind of offer it over to Gelidus.
Eat it.
Yeah, this is not the first finger that we're taking for safekeeping.
Does Gelidus take it from me?
You really want me to keep this?
There's been a number of
I'll keep
fingers that we've had to deal with.
I put it in my pocket, and we'll eventually transfer it to my sack.
Yeah, it'll get to Gelidus eventually. There's nothing stopping that.
You want to hold it up against one of the walls and do some chanting, maybe?
We'll it's early, but maybe.
Okay.
Ezra will say, Kalis, we need to know what they did with the bodies, the real individuals.
In a minute. How many of you are here on this island? The thing just hisses and starts speaking in a language that Dirk and Ezra sort of recognize as some sort of bizarre, twisted infernal. Dirk,
Is he
you can
casting a spell?
you don't know. Dirk, you can pick up every like fourth word that this thing is saying. It seems to be saying some chanting some names, perhaps. Yeah. Kalis nods and jams the dagger thing into its calf. And it's this time there's like a scream, and like as the thing opens its mouth to scream, Kalis shoves a cloth that he has in his hand in its mouth, and the scream is muffled.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
What?
Then he pulls the cloth out. How many of you are on this island?
It's a bit. It's a bit. It's a bit. It's a bit.
He turns to you.
Just
Do you
gently ask.
speak?
Just gently ask the questions. Just gently. Okay? Just do that for me real quick.
No, we don't have time. How many of you are on this island?
I swear to God. Okay, I cast Detect Thoughts.
On whom?
On the fungus.
On TGT? The Gilderoy
Yeah,
thing? Okay.
yeah.
Does it get a save? I don't think it does.
No, it does
Depends on
not.
if it's surface thoughts versus
Or
deeper
attack.
thoughts.
Right. I'm just going for surface right now. I'm not digging deeper yet.
Okay. Um, it is a little afraid, a little angry, a little desperate.
No, it's not like an emotional read. Like I know its thoughts. If
Uh,
it has thoughts, like the number of them there, then I feel like I get to know them.
It's described as what is most on its mind in that moment.
yeah, like it's not thinking a whole lot except for how can I get out of this? That's what it's thinking. What is my best play here? Um, yeah.
Questions verbally directed at the target creature naturally shape the course of its thoughts, so this spell is particularly effective as part of an interrogation.
Oh yeah. So he asks again, how many are on this island? Um, he says one more, but he's lying. There's definitely two more. Just one.
Okay.
Kayla squints. Yeah. Okay. Um.
Who? I say who?
Uh. Calico.
Then I say who else?
Uh. That's it. That's it.
Who's the other one?
Um.
Yeah, but I can. What is he thinking?
Um. You see a picture of, like, in his mind he visualizes one of the actors. You're not sure what the actor's name is, and he's not thinking about the name.
Okay, but what? Okay, what's his name?
Uh,
Tell me his name. His name. What do you call him? What's his name?
there isn't another one, he says out loud. There's just
It
Calico.
doesn't. He can't. He cannot lie to me. I'm detecting his thoughts.
He can absolutely
So
lie
what
with
does
his
he think?
voice, but what he's
Okay,
thinking
he
is,
can lie with his voice, but
yeah,
are
the
you?
the thing's name is a series of incoherent demonic syllables. Is, I guess, the best
What
thing
would
to go.
he call him? I say to Kalis, what would he call him?
Well, you point at
I
Kalis,
I
but you're
I,
talking to the
I
thing.
point to Kalis. What would he call him?
Would he call
You know what
who?
he would call him. What would he call
Um,
him? What does he think when I'm saying this?
he first thinks that you are probably using a spell on him, and then he thinks that he can probably counter that spell, and then he starts chanting in a language you can't understand.
Can I do an Arcana check to see if I recognize it as a spell?
Yes.
18.
We're gonna have a counter spell off.
We are.
A counter spell is counter spell of my counter spell.
Okay. Yes, he's casting a spell.
I will counter it with my reaction.
Okay.
If it, do you need me to roll? If it's third level or less, it's countered.
Yes, you need to roll.
Okay. Wasn't prepared for that. No. Your spell ends. Sorry.
Did you roll
I got
poorly?
I got a 7. So if it's a -3 level spell, it's countered.
Your detect thoughts turns off, Dirk. But you still have the image of that person in your mind.
What does he look like?
Actually, you can make a memory roll also. Make it a wisdom check, because you have seen this person before.
12.
Yeah, it's familiar, this face. You definitely saw him in the Great Hall. You're not sure what the name was. But he was one of the
What does he look like?
actors. He's kind of short. He's like 5'6". He's got brown hair. He's got dark eyes. He's clean shaven. He looks like he's about 21, 22. Most of the actors are older than that.
I passed that description, particularly to Ezra, telepathically.
Do I know the actor's name based on the description?
I don't think any of you actually heard his name, but you've all seen him before, now that Dirk points it out to you.
He's not an A-list actor then.
Mm-hmm.
No movie
He's
deals.
like that guy.
So we would probably recognize him if we saw him.
Yes.
That would make sense that it was one of the actors.
But we wouldn't know from where.
What is he in again? God, I swear I've seen him before.
I have to IMDb individual episodes of television to find out.
It's one of that guys.
He's that guy. Yeah.
He played the waiter in that thing. You know what I'm talking about.
You know, the waiter. The waiter.
She was the dead guy's wife.
Yes.
In that
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
Other guy.
Okay. Cool.
Kalis is still interrogating him, right?
Yeah. Is there what else? What's next, Kalis? What else you want to know?
Can I say where is the real Gilderoy's body?
Where's the real Gilderoy's body? The monster thing says, we burned it. Kalis stabs him again and says, "You're lying."
Yeah, that feels like a lie.
The thing says, it's in the basement, in one of the boxes under the props.
God, we were so close.
You were so close. When you guys were down there before, I was like, oh shit, they're going to find the body. They're going to find the body. Kalis says, how long have you been Gilderoy for? And the thing says, 2-3 days. And he's lying. And Kalis cuts off another one of his fingers and drops it on the ground. And then
I pick it up.
The thing says just under 2 weeks. Kalis says, what was your mission here and who sent you to do it? And the thing starts mumbling again in that language. And he's definitely casting another spell.
I will try to counter that one.
Go ahead.
Oh boy. All right. If it's a 4th level or less, it doesn't go, but I'll roll the d20.
Nope, it doesn't go. It was 4th
Oh,
level.
thank God. I did roll better, but it's only an 8.
Wow.
So thank God it was 4th level.
His eyes sort of flash at you, Ezra, and yeah, Kalis says, who do you serve? And the thing says a name, but it says a name in the same
cast
language.
protection from evil and good on Ezra. I touch him.
All right. The thing says a name, but it's a name in that language. Dirk and Ezra, you both get a different sort of piece of it from a different background. Dirk, it sounds like he says something like, the alchemist.
Charles. Okay.
Something like maybe the alchemist or the creator or like the tinkerer or something like that. And Ezra, from your point of view, it sounds like he's saying like the eater, maybe. You're not sure. Something about eating, perhaps, or consuming, maybe. And then Kalis is going to ask him another question, and then there's a thunderous noise outside. And everyone is disturbed.
Like
Yeah.
outside the window or outside the door?
Outside, you hear it through the broken window. Owen and Jana, since you guys are outside, you hear a thunderous explosion, and the doors that you're standing in front of burst inward. Not enough to like really hurt you, but it broke the lock, the concussion of this, and it knocks you back a couple steps. The force of it. There is a great puff of smoke.
Shit, I set Steve to self-destruct.
No, Steve. Actually, you probably couldn't have made. Steve's probably gone, right? Because you cast 2 other spells in the meantime.
Yes.
Owen and Jana.
There's a puff of smoke in front of us.
Yeah, well, the doors blew open, and now there's like smoke in front of you. There was an explosion. You're both smart enough to know what an explosion is.
I get in front of Jana and duck down so she has range with her bow and hold my sword ready, but I act as a human shield.
For a couple seconds, there's nothing, and then the guard that was up in the tree falls out of the tree and lands on the ground like dead weight.
I will, with my, I'll just do a little like this kind of thing and start advancing slowly.
Okay. Yeah, it's clear that there was some sort of bomb or something that went off about 10 feet from the door. And when you get to the blown open doors, you see there is a figure sort of stumbling towards you through the clearing haze and smoke.
Declare yourself!
It looks like another guard.
What did that?
His face is all black, and he's
Cool.
like reaching towards you.
I will divine sense him. Is he a demon?
He sure is. Good one, Kyle.
Cool. I cut his head off.
Okay. All right. I'm going to give you a surprise here.
Do I hit him on a 25?
You do.
He will take 7 slashing damage, and I will burn 2 spell slots into this. He'll take 23 radiant damage as well.
Oh. Okay. He explodes.
Is he
What's my saving
inside or
throw for
outside?
this?
He's outside. Owen got him before he got inside.
What's my save for this explosion?
It's poison.
Is it con or dex
Yeah,
to
it's
get
con.
out of it?
It's con.
15. Is that enough or no?
You're going to take half damage, yeah.
Cool. How much damage?
I'm rolling. Holy shit, this is almost max damage.
That's fine. I can take it. I'm a paladin. Just so long as Steve is safe.
Oh, so because it's half damage, it's only 18. That could have been gnarly.
Do I have to roll?
Yeah, you do. You can try to make a dex save to dive backwards because you weren't up
Yeah,
there with him,
because
and also
Yeah.
because you're an assassin.
Jenna, you can use your ability if you want. Also,
Yeah, I
Oh,
might.
don't you automatically succeed on those,
no,
or
it's
is it
just
advantage?
I have uncanny dodge. I can use my reaction to have the attack's damage against me. But first, let me see if I can get out of it.
right because you could also reduce it to a quarter.
All right, so dex save.
You could jump out of the radius of the cloud, which means you would take no damage at all because you were
Uh,
back.
So I rolled a 17 on my dex save.
Okay, you're
Is
good.
that okay? Cool. Thanks.
Am I poisoned right now?
You are poisoned.
Okay.
You
So I'm
all.
at disadvantage on everything for a minute, or how long is the poison gonna last?
Well, depends. Are you going to hang out in the cloud? I assume you're not.
No.
Yeah. So once you're
Hmm.
out of the cloud, it's only one round.
Okay.
And yeah. All right, you guys. Everyone else that's still in the office hears this. I assume you're probably going to want to open the doors, and this happened at the speed of combat, so it was whatever, 6
I'll poke my
seconds.
head out. I don't open the door all the way, but I poke my head out.
You do see the poison cloud that's slowly rising up into the night, and you see the doors have been blown open, and it looks like Owen caught a face full of poison, but is still on his feet and coughing the rest out.
I just kind of shake my head and roll my eyes and close the door again.
Well, the problem is that there was an explosion, which means every guard in the place is going to be running this direction now. And Kalis is the first one to be like, yep. He's like, we're done here.
Well,
And-
we need to cut off a finger when they come in.
Wait, what?
We could just kill
I'm
him
not in
now.
there, but I
One
can't
finger.
say that. But we need them to see that this guy isn't him.
Well, Kalis just jabs his dagger into the guy's throat and kills him.
Why?
Does he explode?
Nope.
Does
See,
he
I
turn
think-
into a giant half mutant?
Yes, he does.
Is
He
it
tur-
still half and half, or is it?
No, it's all the
Fully.
way now. It's all the way. Kalis kills it, and it turns all the way into the thing. It's actually not that much bigger than a human. It's maybe like a large human-sized, maybe 6.5 feet. But it's different. The other bodies that you've seen are much more fungal. This one is much more demonic, and less fungal. It's sort of like a.
Why did he do that?
It's sort of like a. What are the fucking small devils called? The peon devils.
Horned devils,
Not the drudges. Those are
hellhounds.
no. It doesn't matter. Anyway, it's a lot more.
Mephits?
It's
No,
a lot more
those are
devilish.
elementals.
It's a lot more devilish. And it's very clear that this is not human. And then he says, "We should leave now. We should go find that other thing. Actually, you should take me back to my rooms. When we're on the way, I can tell you what we were talking about."
Sounds good.
He should be on the top of our sketch list right now.
As you open the doors and head out, he says, "The Gilderoy, that Gilderoy, you should go down and find the other bodies. That Gilderoy was trying to convince me to help him turn you in and off Valeria. He
Wait, where? So if you guys come out, I'll be like, "Where's Gilderoy?
You can see the body behind him.
Why
He's
did
not
you
coming.
kill? Why?
Mm,
We could have just cut a hand off and proven that there were demons infiltrating."
you don't have time. It's too dangerous. This is all very time sensitive. We have to move right now.
Why did you do that?
I just told you why. We have to move quickly. Now.
Okay, let's go.
There's no, sorry, he doesn't know that. There's no more of them on the island. So what we need to do is get on.
One just died out here.
So that's all of them, correct? Does anybody have?
I don't know. Is that all of them?
I believe so.
Dirk, you only sent that to me telepathically.
I mean, I intended to send it to as many people who could hear it, but I don't know in terms of gameplay how effective that was. But
There's
the
one other
intent
one.
was for everybody to know, but I wanted for sure Ezra to know.
There's one other one. So there's the one that has been disguised as Calico, and there was another one that was disguised as one of the actors. We don't know the actor's name, but we know what he looks like. And so we don't know which one we just killed. Well, we know one of the ones we just killed. We don't know the other one.
As we walk out, we can point at the head. Is it that one?
It reverts back to its original form, and
Did
Did I
actually,
get a good look at it? I could describe it.
it was through the smoke, but it's probably just based on, well, you don't have a solid description. You could, okay, yeah. Owen describes it, and Dirk, I'm not going to make you roll for it. It was too tall to be the actor one, so it was probably Calico.
So the actor is
It's not
probably the
him.
only one left. But he might know that we're onto him, and he might change form again.
I'm gonna cast Zone of Truth on Kalis.
Okay.
I gotta go to bed. I'm falling apart. Love you. Good night.
Night.
See you, Doc.
And I'm gonna ask him, is that the real reason you did that? He needs to make a charisma saving throw.
No, he's not lying. That's the real reason he did it.
Okay, I dismissed the spell.
You know what? We don't have time for this. I will go get the body. You go find the other actor. Try to stay out of sight from the other guards. I can't protect you from them until I have Gilderoy's body. Once I have that, then I can protect you from everyone. Also, I need to make sure Valeria's safe. So,
Okay.
if you can send anyone over there to check on her. In fact, go there first. I bet that's what's going to happen next. If they know that Gilderoy's dead and Calico, the last one's probably going to go for Valerie. That's the gamble that I'd be willing to take. Go. He takes off as fast as his old man legs can carry him towards the theater.
Really quick,
It's not that quick.
do we want to send someone after him to watch him?
I don't think we should split
Okay,
up.
let's go. We go to Valerie.
Okay.
Or Valeria, or whatever her name is.
Yeah, Valerie. Val is what she goes by, I should say. Sorry. Okay, you do know where her rooms are. She was originally under suspicion for these murders. So pretty much this whole weekend, she's been under guard. And when you get to her rooms, there's no guards there at all. And you do hear commotion coming from inside.
That's because they've been fighting as Steve Dave all day.
That's true.
We hear a commotion from inside.
You do.
I rush in.
Okay.
Only fools rush in.
Everybody else? Yes? No?
Yeah, I'm right on his butt.
Okay. Yeah, no, there is a actor.
Hasselhoff in there.
Yeah, you see the actor. You all recognize him now. He has a short sword, and he is on top of Val, and it looks like she's wrestling with his hand as he's trying to stab her. That's the scene you come in on.
Do we need to re-roll initiative or?
We'll just do the order in which you said you were going in. So Owen, then Zerwin, then Galadis.
So Jana just kills him.
Well, I don't know what you want to do. Owen, what would you like to do?
Well, I don't go first. You're saying I'm going first because I ran in first?
Yes.
I grapple him.
Okay.
Is a 23 enough to grab him?
Yes, it is.
Cool.
He botched. So not only do you grab him, but he drops the sword.
I kick the sword towards the next person behind me,
Zerwin.
and I try to drag him away from her and away from everyone else in case he decides to explode. And I push it so my body is shielding as much of everyone as possible while I'm holding him.
Okay.
What's the layout of the room?
It's a massive senatorial bedroom, but it is just a bedroom. There's a big four-post bed against one wall. There's some pretty big windows. There is a little bathroom off of it. There's like the there's like a like a inset little place where there's some couches, right? Two stairs that go down to this little room with some couches.
I burn my last divine sense and look at both of them,
Both of whom?
Val and this guy.
Oh, no, this guy's definitely a demon and Val's definitely a human.
Okay, I say she's clean.
So is it my turn now? Are you
Yep.
done?
Yep, go ahead, Zoe.
I say, oh, and get him over by a window in case we need to get him out or in case he explodes.
All right.
I kind of hustle over to Valeria and kind of help her get up and get her on the opposite side of the room.
She's actually pretty athletic for an old woman. Like, she's relatively, like, it's clear she was taken by surprise and she was still fighting this guy off. She was unarmed. He had a sword. She's pretty badass.
She has levels in monk.
Yeah, I guess was she hurt at all, or is she just perfectly fine?
She's pretty fine. I think her ego's a little bruised.
Yeah.
She got surprised.
I have my sword out. I'm in between her and Owen and Fungi over there, and I'm like, get away, get on the other side of the room, and I back up with her.
All right, I'm gonna make this. You guys are doing all the right things here. I'm gonna make this a little easy. You can tell, having done this before, that he is absolutely preparing to explode.
Can I fling him out the window?
Sure.
Yes.
I check really quick to say if I'm not going to throw him onto some soldiers.
No, there was no guards. The guards were suspiciously not here.
Okay. As he starts preparing to, whatever it sounds like, I'm gonna say "fuck you" and throw him out a window.
Just make me maybe an athletics roll. Actually, it's like give me a good.
It's the reason we
suplex.
know. It's similar to what my son does. He gives me a countdown when he's running to the bathroom, letting me know how quickly he's going to pee on the floor.
Well, it's a dirty 20.
Nice. Yeah. So with pretty astonishing form, Owen has a really great sort of throw, sort of like because you're grappling him, so it's more like a lateral, and you sort of hip toss him through the window, and as the shards of glass exit into the starry night, you hear the boom of him as you duck below the wall, and a little bit of the cloud shoots into the room, but everyone is clear of it. And that is the end of the last of the monsters. Val sort of ducks when the explosion happens, and then she looks around at all of you and says, "How did you know?"
He was a terrible actor.
I'm over here reading minds and stuff, and you're one-lining it. This is disrespectful.
I'm also a terrible actor.
I'm indebted to you.
I guess we're unarrested then.
She wasn't the one who did it, but yeah. What was that terrible? I have so many questions right now, but first and foremost, we should go find Kalis and make sure he's okay.
Our face is AFK. There's nothing we can do.
Dirk said he would talk to a group of people earlier. He said he would do it.
I'll talk to anybody.
He went to find the
Once.
bodies of the people that those fungus demons were impersonating.
Where did these fungus demons come from? What do they want? Why are they here?
It's a good question.
How did you know it was going to explode? She turns to you, Owen.
I had a hunch.
You guys have fought several of these things before.
So many. I can't even
We
tell
have.
you how many.
Are you guys keeping
So
track of how
many.
many are left, by the way?
I didn't. No. I bet Duncan is.
I bet Duncan is too. But yeah. I gotta write down how many are left actually when we're done with the session.
But make
You
sure
should
to
write it down in the
reconcile.
note.
Yeah, reconcile it with Duncan though.
Make sure, yeah. Duncan, is it okay if this is how many are left?
Yeah, make sure you ask him.
All right. Okay, we don't have to spend too much time with this. He does, in fact, find Gilderoy's body. And Sextus, remember him?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll try to not give you too many NPC names here, but Sextus actually helps him drag the body out. Kalis, as it turns out, is a pretty convincing orator. He gathers everybody into the main room, and everyone who's all the guards, all the staff, and anybody else who has heard that there is a gathering. He basically declares that this is now his island, and that he is instating a sort of martial law as is entitled to him under certain emergencies. And he has declared that Val shall now be head of security until the
Crisis.
until the imperial forces make a ruling on what will happen here. He suggests that everyone leaves the island first thing in the morning. He says that has been several attacks. He says that all of the monsters have been dealt with, that they have nothing to fear, that they can start using the portals as soon as they'd like, but they're also perfectly welcome to sleep the rest of the night here. The staff will prepare breakfast in the morning. There will be legionary reinforcements coming first thing in the morning as well. He also says that the specialized group of monster hunters that he hired several weeks ago are the ones who ferreted out all of the terrible things that have happened here. And if only he had the foresight to hire them sooner, and then he sort of marches you all out in front of the crowd, he may have been able to save his cousin's life. And his only regret is that he didn't bring you all out sooner to locate what was happening out here. And suddenly you go from villainous assholes to folk heroes.
Well, folk hero assholes.
Well, folk hero assholes. No, that's totally fair.
Folk assholes.
Folk assholes, yeah. Fat folk holes?
Yeah, folk assholes.
We're ass folks.
Ass folks, there we go. Yeah, that's good.
I don't know if that's better.
When he's done, everyone sort of gives you a more appraising look, like, oh, fuck, we were totally wrong about these guys. Some people even come up and, like, kind of thank you afterwards. I actually need all of you to also make a wisdom save.
Wisdom save?
A wisdom save.
Is everyone within 10 feet of me when we make the save?
Yeah.
Everyone gets +4.
30, 20 plus 4 is 24.
Phew. I rolled a 21.
I got a sexy nat 20 on that one.
Nice.
Which makes it
25.
30.
Ah.
What'd you roll,
You are
Gelder?
so wise.
25.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no. You all can see sort of through his charm. But there is a sort of magical reinforcement to his public speech. And you're not sure where it's coming from. He doesn't seem to be outright casting a spell. You know he can't carry any magical items on him. When he came to the island, maybe there was something that was already here. You're not really sure. Actually, Geldis, what did you roll? Oh, no, sorry. Owen. Owen rolled a nat 20.
Yes.
Oh, Owen, you think this is maybe the power of a god, and you don't know that Kalis understands what's happening here. You don't think he understands that his words are having extra power. But you rolled a nat 20, so you think it is.
I will tell this to everyone. Except for him.
Yeah, you mean the group.
You
Yeah.
mean spicy oranges?
Yeah, spicy oranges.
Geldis, does this ring a bell with you?
What was that?
Oh,
He's Kalis's words are being empowered by godly, divine, some smooth vibrations, if you would.
Yeah, I don't like them,
Gods or vibrations?
frankly. The words, but also those other things.
Okay.
Well, just because they're powered by a god, it doesn't make them bad.
Look, I'm just saying anybody who imposes martial law is in a universe run by Bill Stratton a bad guy. And we need to be aware of that. Sorry, metagaming. A bad guy.
I mean, are we concerned about the god that he's speaking or following?
Concerned about the general situation. I don't like the fact that he liked us. Nobody likes us.
That's
I don't
fair
think
enough.
he
Somebody
actually.
all of a sudden.
He doesn't actually like us.
It's very true.
I don't like that either. I don't like that he's saying that he likes us when he doesn't like us.
So if you're
This is
thinking
all.
about it, could you get like a god sense now that you know it's a god, Galladus?
Not that I know of.
Can you smell gods?
Only when they want you to smell them. Otherwise, they smell
Well,
whatever
no,
they
I just
want.
meant you. I just meant you personally, not in general. I didn't know if that was like a thing that you had.
Oh,
You're
no, no,
short.
no. I got nothing special about my sniffer.
you
Okay.
did speak to a god on this island not 24 hours ago, though.
That's true. I did. I spoke to the god of death and war and.
Nope. The god of deception.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, deception.
Did that god have anything to do with like tinkering or making? Because I heard some stuff about a tinkerer.
Can I hear the words that he's using? Does it sound like the way that the god of deception spoke?
No, he's just using his own words, but if there is a god powering this, it might make sense that it's the one that you called here earlier and who's been watching from the sidelines, not wanting to expose themselves. It's not an unreasonable conclusion to draw.
I mean, I'll share that with the group. Be like, I talked to the god of deception of this realm. They could have stayed around here and watched what we were doing. Depends on whether they were interested, I guess.
Well, what did they smell like?
I can't smell them. They didn't smell like anything.
Okay.
Wasn't it, you should probably write this down. Wasn't it Frous that you spoke to?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Okay. When the dust sort of settles and everyone goes back to their rooms or starts queuing up to portal out, Kalis invites you and Val back to his rooms. It is now very late, probably close to 2 in the morning. But he says it's important we should talk about this before anything else happens. He gathers you all in his sort of greeting rooms and as a part of his his cabin of the estate. Everyone sits on couches. Val, I had set up this meeting for you to speak with these New friends of ours. I have to say before we start that that was kind of a shit show, and we're goddamn lucky that it turned out the way that it did. Because if we hadn't solved this problem before the Legionaries got here tomorrow morning, you'd probably all be dead, and possibly Val would be too, and I would have had to basically run for my life. You've really got to be more careful, or no one's going to want to work with you.
Good thing Duncan left.
Yeah.
Somebody is going to say something about the implications with Skip. Val says, fuck him. I want Skip. Fuck the whole lot of them. Cornelius says, what would you all like to say to Val? I arranged this meeting. Is there anything in particular you'd like to say?
It's a good thing Duncan left.
I like to challenge the party.
I mean, I don't know. I sort of just telepathically say to Owen, like, am I supposed to be concerned about being employed in the future? Is that the nature of the conversation?
I'm going to
So-
say, I don't think so. I think they're just warning us that we're being sloppy.
You say that out loud?
No, I'm saying that in my head. Can I answer you or?
No, I can't. I can't hear your thoughts.
Oh, okay. I'll nod. I'll nod to you then, I guess.
Yeah, we're
I'll
definitely never
give
getting hired again.
I'll give Val a rundown of what we did at Drunel Hall, the nightmare, the fact that we are now the lords and lady of Drunel Hall, and that we originally reached out to
Yeah, he
Kalis
does.
so
You're
that
right,
we
chat.
could get some support to rebuild, but also, to essentially, right, I think. Does anyone remember? Did Kalis tell us not to tell Val everything? I didn't. I think he said we could tell her. But I can't remember.
I think he just said you
I
want
like it.
you want to be careful what you say to people. He said you want to be careful how you talk to the heads of families, is what
Yeah.
he said.
But we'll explain that we're friends of Skip's. We believe he should be the emperor.
He should be. His fucking brother is a piece of shit psychopath. Fuck him.
We're the ones who saved his son. And we originally came out here. Or we originally reached out to Kalis, one to have him put us in touch with you and to help us, rebuild and trade resources for Drunel Hall, but mainly to help Skip take the throne. And also, I guess we'll give her the rundown of Armoros. She should probably know what's going on. You divine sensed her, right? So we know she's not a demon. We don't know. Right? You don't have to be a demon to be a follower of Armoros. But
Look, Skip is like a second son to me. He lived with us. For years. I would do anything for Skip. But I think Kalis knows that, and that's why he set this meeting up. I think that the real problem is going to be you have more than just these families, right? If the Claudii and the Valerii are behind you, that's only two of the families. And while the Valerii have a fairly large portion, have their own private army, and while with all due respect, the Claudii have their fingers on the food that supplies the empire, we still can't stand just the two of us against the Publii and their combined forces. Not to mention there's already armies, legions raised and in the field and marching to war. Everyone is in a war machine cycle right now. Everyone's ready for a fight. And the second it gets out that there's problems behind him, the Emperor is going to turn around and kill everyone who he suspects. And I mean everyone. There isn't any mercy in that man. So you want to put Skip at the head of the Empire? I think that's a great idea. But you're going to need at least 2 other families to help you.
Mm-hmm.
Besides us.
Well, I would say that if somebody came to you a week ago and said that a ragtag group of heroes like us could convince you and Claudia to help us, you'd probably have laughed, said that that person was full of shit. But here we are. So what do you think we can do? We would need to rely on your thoughts on which families you think we could turn the quickest.
She turns back to Kalis. Kalis says, well, the Fabii are out. There's no way you could ever trust the Fabii no matter what they said. So, not necessarily that they're particularly loyal to the Empire, just that I know for a fact that Servius, who's the current head of the family, he hates the Valerii, and he's not friendly with us, and he's not trustworthy. I wouldn't waste my time. The Amelii, that's Poncha's sect. It's possible, but Poncha has long been a imperial loyalist. In fact, the Amelii in general, they were the first great family besides the Publii. So they're going to be a hard sell. Of course, the Publii themselves are right out, except you do have Skip. So that leaves you with pretty much the Manlii. And that's who I would target. Or the Cornelii. So Gallus is the head of the Cornelii. They are the traitors. They're pretty aloof. The problem with Gallus is that he's only 30 years old. He doesn't have the experience or the social capital to swing a lot of things. He'll be tough to convince because sticking his neck out for him is extremely dangerous. He also feels like he hasn't proved himself as the head of the family. Yeah, that'll be tough. I know that he has no love for Marcus, the Emperor, but yeah. And then there's the Manlii, and they are the upstarts of the families, the great families, but they control a kingdom of their own, and they are by far the wealthiest family. And then you have to deal with Numerius. Numerius he's smart, and he never seems to make a bad trade. The key to dealing with Numerius is going to be, what can you offer him? Can you offer him more than the current emperor can? And that's a tough sell. But if you can convince Numerius, then you'll have 3 families, and your sell to Gallus the Younger will be a lot easier. That's my suggestion.
Is there something Numerius cares about other than money?
It's said that he never sleeps. It's said that he eats only once a day. It's also said that he shits out gold, so I've spoken quite a bit with Numerius. We're of an age. And I will tell you this. Numerius doesn't do anything to dispel the rumors about himself because he knows they're useful. He's a master negotiator. He has enough money to bribe pretty much anyone. You can't trust anyone around you when you're near dealing with him, because even people that you like and treat kindly and who treat you kindly, You'd be surprised what a mountain of gold can do to their loyalty. If
You said they're upstarts. How did they get their start?
banking. Look, Numerius isn't a moral person, but if you can find something that makes a better deal for him, he will take it, even if it means selling out the Emperor.
When you say a better deal, what does that mean? If he's already wealthy,
Yeah, I don't know.
what does he get from the Empire?
If I knew what Numerius wanted, I would have already used it to get the things I wanted. I have food, and that's what I can trade with him. Listen, gold can buy you a lot of things, but you still have to buy the things. So, I don't know. You'll have to find that out for yourself. Or you can try going to talk to Gallus first, but...
Is he married?
Who?
Numerius.
He was. His wife has died. And he is not remarried.
How'd she die?
She had a heart attack, basically. Her heart gave out. Numerius is austere and rail thin. His wife was a lot of woman. She...
And he's your age?
Close. He's a little bit younger than me.
Which is what, out of game? Like 60-ish?
Yeah, so out of game, Numerius is just under 60, and Kalis is just under 70.
Right, okay. What's Numerius's relationship with Skip? Or based on what you're telling me, he just doesn't have relationships. He has contracts and logistics.
Numerius almost never goes to the capital. He almost never leaves his own capital.
Okay.
Anyone who's anything to trade is welcome there, though. You could take a barge of food in and sell it. It's not hard to get to him. Well, it might be hard to have a meeting with him directly, but I could pull some strings to get you a meeting with him when you're ready. I would make sure you're ready, though, because you're only going to get one shot at Numerius. All right. Feeling good about that? We don't have to play too much longer. It's just about time. Anyone else want to ask them any questions before we end for the night?
How do we get to the Numerius?
Oh, I can get you to the capital, and I can arrange a meeting, but you might want to spend some time doing, intel work before you do.
We can get to his capital, not the capital.
Correct. You can get to his capital, yeah. And I could even arrange a meeting for you.
How close is
Not too
his
much of a researcher.
kingdom to the Fae? The Feywilds and the...
I have to look. I don't know off the top of my head.
So I guess I have a question. Does he trade with the Fae? Or is he totally Empire boy?
That's a good question. I would say if he does trade with the Fey Kingdoms, he probably does, but he probably keeps it quiet. Yeah, so he basically controls all of the southern ports.
Which is far away from the Feywilds, right?
It's closer to the Fey Kingdoms than the Wild. The Wild is north, the Fey Kingdoms are south.
Okay.
So he probably trades with the Fey Kingdoms. But all trade with the Fey Kingdoms is supposed to be done through the Emperor. So if he is doing some, he almost certainly is. But it'll probably be black market stuff, untraceable to him. All right. Let's end it there. First of all, you got out of prison. Well done. You killed the bads. You saved the day. And God, did just one guard died. That's pretty good. Well done,
He didn't have
everybody.
a name.
Who died?
Tom.
Tom.
Yeah. I think I named him
Oh,
Tom,
What the
right?
Romans have it done for us?
The guy who fell out of the tree, you mean?
Yeah, wasn't his name Tom? I thought it was Tom.
What's Tom?
Told me.
Hand out some Danger Awesome points while I ask chat. Chat, who gets a Danger Awesome point tonight from you guys?
I'll give mine to Dirk for unleashing Steve. Really, we would have had a harder time getting out of there.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
Steve didn't show up.
I'll give mine to
Second,
Owen
Steve.
for taking the lead in quite a few of the discussions.
Thank you. I will give mine to Gelidus for Moonbeam shenanigans. That was a good help.
Yeah, that was fucking nasty.
Mine goes to Janet for the assassination of Gilderoy in the window.
Thank you. Mine goes to Dirk also for Steve.
Steve is awesome. We
Steve,
should find Steve and see if he's still alive.
Steve
And
Steve was
Steve, we are-
unsummoned.
And Steve be our pet battle rhinoceros.
Can we get
Look.
Steve a wife or husband and like little Steves?
And bring them everywhere.
I mean, we can just summon a small Steve.
Yeah. Pretty much any time Dirk wants that he has a long rest, he can just summon a small Steve.
Can we summon a pregnant Steve so that this land can be populated by rhinoceroses? And eventually there will be House Rhinoceri,
You
I
yeah.
feel like as a paladin, you don't really understand how this works.
I don't understand how pregnancy works as a paladin.
What was the name of that tall blonde woman who was hitting on Owen? I can't remember now. Helga or something? Olga? Okay, the chat would like to give a Danger Awesome point to Owen because without Owen, we wouldn't know who we needed to kill, which is pretty good. I like that.
I'm 90% of the problem.
Which is what it's actually the translation of paladin.
Yeah, 90% of the problem.
And also the solution.
True.
Yeah.
The best problem to have, chat says. You're right, chat. I'm going to give one to Dirk because I agree. Everybody did a lot of great things tonight, but Steve really just made my night happier in every way. So take one from me too, Kyle. Great job tonight. All right, I'm going to turn the stream off. Good night, everybody.
All right, everyone.